Ondo State, southwest Nigeria, is gradually becoming a house of commotion. The state's High Court has ordered the Governor Rotimi Akeredolu-led administration to stop the inauguration of the Caretaker Committee for the local government and local council development areas. In a ruling delivered by Justice Yemi Fasanmi, the court granted the prayer for interlocutory injunction by the opposing People's Democratic Party, that's PDP. The court restrained the state government from inaugurating any presence of persons as caretaker committee in any local government or local council development areas, pending the determination of the substantive suits. Meanwhile, the Senate has urged the federal government to withhold allocation of local governments of states running councils with caretaker committee. Let's share the story with you.
Of local government.
In his lead debate, Benue South Senator Abamoro draws the attention of his colleagues to the sudden dissolution of democratically elected councils in Benue State. The lawmaker raised concerns over the rapidly growing trend of replacing elected council chiefs with caretaker committees. He described it as an aberration and alien to the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Aware that Section 7.1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended guarantees a system of local government by democratically elected councils.
His appeal resonated among other lawmakers as they described the act by the state governors as a flagrant violation of the rule of law that must be discontinued. They asked the Senate to direct the Minister of Finance to stop funding for local governments operating without the duly elected council officials.
This Senate lend its voice and forcefully persuade the Minister of Finance that wherever there is no elected council chairman, that money due to those councils should not be released to an arm of government that does not exist.
Since we have constitutional oversight responsibility over the... So, in the prayers, maybe we should emphasize that anybody that has caretaker put in place, his money should be kept aside until democratically elected local government takes over.
Some of these matters have gone up to the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and the Supreme Court has emphatically pronounced that caretaker committees are illegal, and the governors have no power to dissolve elected government officials.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, also frowns at the establishment of multiple federal agencies as it totally negates the rule of law.
If you have a national local government electoral commission that organizes local government elections nationally, you will see that all sorts of local governments will tumble, all sorts of councillors will tumble. So this bandwagon effect of a state governor will come to an end.
The Nigerian Senate is now advocating for the creation of the National Electoral Commission for local governments so that governors will no longer have overbearing influence on council polls. TJ Suadeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
Two things here. Ondo State, how did the list of local government chairmen and council development area surfaced in the State House of Assembly?
Honestly, some of the things happening in Ondo State are very embarrassing. There is no reason why by now the deputy governor of the state has not been bestowed with the full powers
of an
acting governor. This sort of thing is wrong. We have a governor that for no fault of his is ill, is unable to perform his duties. Now charlatanism has taken over in Ondo State. You are not allowing the deputy governor to function.
And the state suffers.
All because of succession politics. Nothing else. Because you ask, this list, who generated this list? Where did the House of Assembly derive its powers from? Who generated this list? The deputy governor knows nothing about this list. Even if he comes out today to say, I was informed, I would tell him to his face that he's a liar. He did not know about this list.
How did they get that?
And he's supposed to be the one to swear them in. Why is it that our people think that they can always use the local government to further their nest politically? Look at what the governor of Benue State has done. You came into office, you dissolved, you suspended the local government.
Against the Supreme Court's judgment.
What is the meaning of that? Now everybody is up in arms against Father Alia. Instead of focusing on real governance, he's gone to the local councils just to send people back. And people are saying, no, this is wrong. You can't do this. This is wrong. You can't do this. Continually. I know a governor who was in office for 8 years before becoming an item on the national scene, who did not conduct local government elections for 8 years. He recently became an item politically. He did not conduct election, from the southeast. He did not conduct election for 8 years. Here in the southwest, there is another bearded governor. He did not conduct election for local government. All they are interested in is simply to put their own people there, their cronies. You sack elected local government chairmen and swear in your own people. That's the first thing that a governor does. You come into office, you chase away the local government chairmen that were duly elected. We know that even elections at local government level are usually stage managed by the ruling party. There's no level of democracy at that level. There's no strain, no atom of democracy at that level. It is the ruling party is like it is impossible for the ruling party to win. Apart from El-Rufai even did what amounted to an electronic voting during the local government election in Kaduna, and even his party lost some local government. Governors do not believe that they should lose
at all
any local government.
Conduct
election. Conduct election. Let it give that. Let it have that valid seal. That seal, as prescribed by law, let it even conduct elections. Not to be setting up caretaker committees, as they want to do in Ondo now. So I agree with the senators that whatever it takes, they must stop all these governors imposing caretaker committees on people rather than allow elections to take place. Caretaker committees are not known to our laws. So I don't know how they are going to do it, but if you fail to, Obasanjo did it and it became such a big problem. I don't know how they are going to stop money getting to those local government, but to those states. In any case, whenever you send money, it is to those governors that the money goes. What if they can stop it? Honestly, this attitude of simply gathering friends and loyalists and making them caretaker local government chairmen will stop. I don't know how the Senate intends to do it, but they have to talk with the executive for this to be possible. But I am in support of what Aliu Ndume, Abamoro, and others have said, that there has to be a way to stop the arbitrary dissolution of democratically elected local government officials.
Yes, but me, I go for, let's attack the root cause, not just because politicians of Nigeria are who they are. You will see a governor spending 8 years in office. He didn't even think of having election at the local government. But immediately his party loses power, or is on his way out of government house, he will suddenly remember that there has to be election at the local government. And what you call election at the local government level is not election, it's selection. The ruling party, and whatever that party is always the winner, whether people vote or not. So now, since we pattern our system, and you see what the Senate is proposing, that let's stop giving money to, states whose local governments are not elected. Now, Akpabio, also brought another suggestion that they should create independent National Election Commission, for local government in Nigeria. That is, expand the bureaucracy. We have too many of it already. Now we still want to have another bureaucracy. Why? See, to me, since we love to pattern our system after the US, why can't we make local government administration, creation, funding, whatever the business of the states, instead of the federal government creating local government, funding local government? We should stop it. The moment we stop giving money to the local governments, they are not a tier of government in most democracies where you have federal system. Why is our own, this problematic? If the business of Lagos State is to create 100 local government and it creates them, it will find a way to fund them. Why wait on the federal government? The same in Osun, the same in Kano, the same everywhere. But when we do the proper thing, many of these problems will fizzle out. In the US, for example, what's the business of the federal government there about any local government? I remember a case of a local government chairman in Wisconsin. The guy was the county chief in Milwaukee, which is the biggest. He challenges the sitting governor of the another party, and he won. Can that happen in Nigeria? Because we don't have democracy at the local government level. What you have there is corruption. I know of a governor, now a former governor, throughout his time, he will do memo. So amount is approved for each local government. The moment money comes, the chairman of each local government will go and collect the cash and use Ghana must go and drop the money for that governor. If it's 500,000, that is after payment of salary and whatever. If it is 1 million, if it's 600,000, that's what that local government will take. Every other thing that is, you will take it. Must we continue this way if we truly want, if we truly want service to the people? Is any local government functioning now in anywhere in Nigeria? No, we are in Lagos. Nigeria all over. Tell me the local government that is functioning properly. It is because we didn't structure it very well. At the end of the day, how much of this money from Abuja gets, to the people in terms of local government services? So we don't need another bureaucracy. I don't think that's what we need. Let's structure our system very well. Let the states restructure us and let the states be in charge of local government in terms of creation, in terms of funding, in terms of everything. It shouldn't be the business of the National Assembly discussing the local government in the state. It shouldn't be. There are too many problems in Nigeria they can devote their attention to. Why?
Julie, can you tell us the last the legal status of these council development areas? What was the last? Lagos State started it, and it has not been listed in the Constitution.
Yes, because governors frustrated it. 2/3 of our states must approve it. House of Assembly, 2/3 of House of Assemblies in the country must approve it. They simply waited. The public hearing was a success. Everything was a success. and many states actually supported
yes, the many states have not.
But some states opposed it, and at the end of the day,
They didn't get the
they frustrated the attempt to give them full autonomy. You know, the Senate president even lamented. They were going around the country at that time sensitizing stakeholders. But some governors, you know, governors have found a way to put the House of Assembly in their pockets. And some of those houses of assembly, all they're after is just money that they can get from the governors. So they simply do the bidding of the governor. They've forgotten that they are an independent arm of government, and they do not behave like an independent arm of government. Governors think that they must choose the speakers in their respective states. That's why you see a governor will go and sit down where they are choosing the speaker of a state. Something that is unheard of. He sat with them to ensure that his own candidate emerged and not the candidate of the man in Abuja. And at the end of the day, he won. That is what others don't bother to go and sit down. They simply press the button and ensure that their own candidate becomes speaker. So all these are meant to ensure that they have a rubber stamp at that level of government. It's unfortunate that we didn't achieve our aim. But we can see, look at Lagos State now, there is the legislature in Lagos State have their independence, both financial and otherwise. And you can see they are the better for it. But
Lagos Assembly.
they were opposed because governors want to continue to play with the funds of the local councils. They are not allowing redevelopment to happen at the local councils. They determine what goes to the local councils after they've taken their own, you know, because they have this joint account. You know, so it's unfortunate that we're having this discussion. Even the judiciary in the states, till today, they don't have full autonomy.
They don't.
They don't have full autonomy, and the Constitution envisages that the judiciary will have autonomy. But they don't have even financial autonomy. States, the governors still decide what goes to them. Sometimes, somebody was telling me about a governor who even blocked training. He said, no, you can't go for the training. He said, as judicial officers, training is important to us. He said, no, you don't need it. That's why they need that autonomy. A governor will be thinking that he should sack the chief judge in his state. How can somebody think like that?
Look at Ondo State lawmakers who should know about law. The Constitution of Nigeria, Section 7(1) says that the only means of, having leadership for the local government is through democratic election. They are the ones. Look at the lawmakers breaking the law. They are the ones screening people that are not elected to now run affairs of local government. Is that not? Is that not what can be more in a state being governed by a synod advocate of Nigeria? No. See, look at so many things happening in Ondo State. Very ridiculous.
Terrible things.
Very ridiculous.
The governor doesn't
the law.
The president doesn't want need to intervene. The law already envisages that when a governor is ill, this person automatically takes over. The law envisages that we would not need that doctrine of necessity anymore.
Again.
So instead of the doctrine of necessity, where people have to rise in a wave to say that Yar'Adua must transmit power to Jonathan, the law has been amended to ensure that we don't need to go through that phase again.
It becomes an automatic
process. But our people have not changed.
That's a way of sabotaging those things.
The law will say a different thing, we will do a different thing.